Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing you know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks whistling at them.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. This is a team that may be out of the playoff chase at this. They're an organization with a ton of pride, and they'll be playing hard all the way to the final whistle of the final game, no matter where they are in the standings. It's the Steelers going up against the Chargers. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are a little less than 10 miles inland from the blue waters of the Pacific Ocean as we greet you from lovely San Diego, California. Tonight, we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Diego Chargers. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Now a run for Barner. And he's got room. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
A good explosive run there sets them up with a new set of downs, and every team wants to start their game with a really nice drive. 3 and out. No one wants to see that, and they were able to avoid it after that run.
They'll run it now with Barner. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Manti Te'o continues to evolve as a linebacker. Known for his ability to cover the pass coming out of college, he's had an excellent run-stopping ability along the way.
They'll run. It's Barner. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll set up a throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. And into the zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They run again with Barner. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Now Barner. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Okay, offense, you've gotten down close, but it's still just the second quarter. I say take the 3 points. Plenty of game left to play.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. third down. He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Brandon Fields to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. 2
yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They give to Benjamin on the end around. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Green 39! Green 39!
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. He juked him. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Brown, the lone receiver left. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Man open right side. It's the tight end, Clay. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A give to McCoy. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Forced out to his left. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's McCoy. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here we go.
switch it up here and look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Kindici in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Completes it right side to Dodson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And this defense will take over right at midfield. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with the running back. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Now let's go. 319.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Kenyon Barner, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for him. Didn't happen. Also,
and he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Rashid Hagman in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCoy. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Play clock winding down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, it's McCoy. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
10th carry now for McCoy. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They'll set up to throw. Out to his left. They find some open field here. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They come out here in the eye. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll set up a throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Rolling to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a 3rd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. With it is Brown. Spinning past him. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal. A decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they look.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to someone else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. It's laminated.